My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
Yeah.
I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
It's looking like things are getting a lot worse for Diddy with this whole ClassE situation, because not only do we have Lil Rod filing a lawsuit against Diddy, but now, most recently, a model named Crystal McKinney has filed a lawsuit against Diddy. And I told y'all in the last video we talked about it. I said, when these situations happen, you always see more and more people start to come forward. We saw it with Bill Cosby. We saw it in other situations, and most recently with Diddy. But Crystal McKinney is one of the most recent victims of this entire Diddy situation. Now, we haven't been able to look into the complaint yet, and once that complaint is made public, we'll definitely go over it and review it. But for now, we're just going to give you guys a little bit of the background as to what happened, what was their relationship, and while she's possibly filing this lawsuit. Check it out.
Breaking news, this time involving Sean Diddy Combs. He's been named in a new lawsuit accusing him of sexual assault. A former model is coming forward with these allegations just days after videos surfaced of Sean Diddy Combs attacking his ex-girlfriend. Marianne has the latest details from the studio. Good morning.
Good
Talk
morning,
about
Heather.
it, Marianne.
What we're learning is that this latest lawsuit against Combs was filed by former model Crystal McKinney. She not only was a former model, she was also the winner of MTV's competition show called Model Mission. Now, CNN has looked at the complaint, which was filed in a New York City courtroom, and it alleges that McKinney was sexually assaulted by Combs. She also alleges she was drugged by him after a Men's Fashion Week event back in 2003. That's when she was 22 years old. The complaint also alleges that this happened at Combs' recording studio. McKinney alleging that at one point she was intoxicated and even lost consciousness. Now, also named.
Now, this is just bad because it's showing a pattern, right? It's showing that he's been doing this, especially when it comes to younger women. She was 22, Cassie was 19. Oh man, if more of these cases come out, which I'm sure they will, this is just going to be a horrible place for Diddy to be in.
Named in this lawsuit is Bad Boy Records, as well as Sean John Clothing and Universal Music. McKinney speaking out, saying to NBC that she felt a moral obligation to do so. Now, this latest lawsuit against Combs comes just days after CNN released exclusive video obtained from hotel security cameras. It says it's from 2016 and shows Combs with his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. We're going to show you a portion of this video in just a moment, but just a warning, it may be disturbing to some people. Here is part of that video.
All right, so we're not going to show the video again. If y'all want to see the edited version of this video, you can find it over on the ClassE Beast YouTube channel, just because YouTube does not like this video for obvious reasons. We're going to skip over the video
now. In it, you can,
because YouTube said no.
We have that CNN that lawsuit was settled. One physical tourist lawsuit. Exact date when this happened, but this attack was referenced in Cassie Ventura's lawsuit against Combs that was filed last November. She also talked about alleged physical and sexual abuse over the course of their relationship. That lawsuit was settled one day later, but this apology from Combs came after that CNN video was released.
My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
Yeah.
I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
And initially,
honestly, I'm not gonna give Diddy props for making the apology, but I think it was a decent apology. I think it needed to be done. It needed to be said. And not that I don't think most people are gonna forgive him, but the fact that he came out and said something, knowing that all of this is going on and happening, to me, that's better than being silent.
Disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
And initially, Combs denied the allegations that were outlined in Ventura's lawsuit.
multiple women have now come forward to sue.
Yep,
That's right.
here we go.
Over the course of just several months, Heather, there are now 7 lawsuits against Combs. 6 of those 7 lawsuits outline alleged sexual assaults, and only
There's 7 lawsuits. Man, we gotta look up all 7, because I only know of 4 right now.
1 has been settled, the one that I just mentioned with alleged sexual assault.
Jeez.
And only 1 has been settled, the one that I just mentioned with his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. We also know that he was the focus of a federal investigation with Homeland Security, which investigates human trafficking. These are images from that investigation with Homeland Security officers checking out some of his properties. Meanwhile, as the backlash to all of these lawsuits continue, we're also hearing how this is impacting his career and his business. Peloton announcing today that they will pause playing any of Combs' music on any of its workout platforms, Heather.
Marianne, thank you very much.
All right, so they give a little bit of insight into what's going on with this new case, but I want to read this article from People because they give more of the background of what happened with Crystal McKinney and what's possibly going to be some of the claims that are made in this complaint. So it says Sean Diddy Combs sued by model who alleges he drugged her, assaulted her in 2003. In 2003, Crystal McKinney claims the bad boy CEO told her she was going to make it big one day as a model before allegedly drugging her and assaulting her. Jesus, man. And I'm sure some video is gonna surface from this too. Sean Diddy Combs has been accused of drugging and assaulting a woman in a new lawsuit filed in New York. In court documents obtained by People on Tuesday, May 21st, Crystal McKinney alleges that she was 22 years old when she was introduced to the mogul, now 54, by a designer while working as a model back in 2003. Yeah, this was even before the whole Cassie situation. In the lawsuit, McKinney claims that after meeting with Combs and the unnamed designer at, I don't know how to pronounce that, Cipriani? I'm probably saying that wrong. Anyway, that she felt, and this is a quote, that she, quote, felt little control over the events as she was directed what to do and put on display for others in attendance. We hear a lot about the modeling industry, and this is one of the things that's claimed is for models to make it. There's a lot of things they have to do when it comes to actors, when it comes to certain film stars. It's just, the rumor is this is just normal, a part of the industry, which is unfortunate. McKinney claimed that she was instructed to sit directly across from Combs at the event and that he made a very public display of coming on to her in a suggestive manner, which continued throughout the dinner. She added the bad boy CEO continuously complimented her beauty and told her she was going to make it big one day as a model. She claimed he told her that he had power in the industry and was going to help her advance her career. These are, man, when you hear this, ladies, it's time to run. Guys, I don't know that a lot of guys have been in this situation, but when you hear them saying this, oh yeah, you have so much potential. And I can see a lot of things happening for you. I'm going to do, well, we can work things out. I mean, we've all seen the movies. You know what happens after this. And according to Crystal, it's not just movies. This is real life. He had the power in the industry and was going to help her advance her career before they exchanged phone numbers. In the lawsuit, McKinney described Combs as flirtatious during the course of the evening and alleges that he plied? I think they meant to put piled. Oh, I don't know what's going on here. That the plaintiff with alcohol throughout the dinner as he repeatedly refilled her glass with wine. Later that night at Combs' studio, the model says she was offered weed and alleges she later came to understand that Combs had laced the joint with a narcotic or other intoxicating substance per the lawsuit. Yeah, we need to get a hold of this lawsuit. because she says, I wonder how she later came to understand that Combs laced it. I guess we'll find out. We'll see in the lawsuit. She claims she declined to smoke or drink after feeling as though she was floating, but Combs called her uptight and continued pressuring her to do so. The lawsuit alleges that Combs then led McKinney to the bathroom where he began forcing himself on her, kissing her without her consent. He then allegedly okay, we're not going to read this part, but he assaulted her. She claimed that once the act was over, Combs went back into the studio. McKinney says she began feeling physically sick and lost consciousness. McKinney also claims Combs blackballed her career. In around 2004, she was hospitalized for a self-deletion attempt after she began to blame herself for the assault and for sabotaging her own career. This is so sad, man. You hear this in a lot of these type of abuse cases too, which is amazing. And it's a wonder that Cassie made it as long as she did with all she was going through, and that it ends this way, especially when your career is affected negatively. I mean, this is wild. Due to the traumatic events to occur later, plaintiff McKinney saved the unwashed clothing from that night in her closet, where they remain in a plastic wrap, the lawsuit says. Wow. That's got to be tough. This is great timing in her case, because I mean, imagine if she were to give this evidence over to whatever precinct and then it gets lost or destroyed somehow. That would be it. The amount she is seeking in damages is unspecified. We know it's probably going to be close to 30 million, especially since that's what Cassie got. Reps for Combs did not immediately respond to people's requests for comments. McKinney's lawyers declined to comment. Tuesday's lawsuit comes less than a week after CNN released footage of Combs kicking, punching, and dragging his former girlfriend and former Bad Boy artist Cassandra Cassie Ventura in Los Angeles hotel in 2016. The incident was captured on the hotel's surveillance cameras. In addition to Ventura and McKinney, Diddy faces assault/harassment lawsuits from 3 other women and 1 man. All right, maybe if we click on this, it'll tell us which lawsuits they are. If you know someone who has been assaulted, please contact the National Sexual Assault Hotline at 1-800-656-HOPE. That's 1-800-656-4673. Or go to RAINN.org. That's rain.org. All right, so I think that's pretty much gives a good background as to what's going on with this case. Diddy, man, hey, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning for Diddy. And as y'all can hear, it seems like he's now showing a pattern, whether that's what Lil Rod was saying in his lawsuit, what Cassie was saying in her lawsuit, and what she finally got settled. And now you've got this case, and it's looking like a few other cases as well. So I have a feeling this is only the beginning, especially if people were smart and kept the evidence.